Zion, it's probably old hat with you now, the comparisons to Jordan, but, we can see physical differences and things like that. Do you play the position differently than he did? Do you have to? Or does Georgia 0-and-1 technique play X way no matter how you're built or whatever your game is?
Our our defense is built. You're supposed to play it the same. So yeah, my body's a little bit different than he is. He's a little bit wider. I'm a little bit more slim. So I kind of got to take a little bit of things that he did and trying to put them in my game a little bit differently. So I'll say it is a big difference, but it's not technique wise or the way he's coaching it. No, it's the same way.
How does playing next to Jalen Carter help your game and maybe free you up to do things that you do well at?
So like I said before, I think we play good off each other. I think we complement each other very well. Like we both know the system very well, so we know how to talk to each other. So I think that kind of plays a big role in it.
You're listed here at 6'5", 295, I think. Is that accurate, or how big are you now?
That's been the measurement since I've been here, but no, I'm right around 305, 310 area. So yeah, right around 6'5", 310.
And I guess the other question I would ask is, I think I drove down the street and saw you and Carter coming out of the facility. Well, I don't know what odd hour it was. I'm assuming you worked out. Getting to work out with a guy like that, how much has that pushed you? And you probably know Jalen different than a lot of other people. What's something you can tell us about as something fun that maybe people wouldn't ordinarily know?
He's a very quiet guy, but he's also funny at the same time. Like he has his own way of being funny and being like a fun-loving guy. But when it's time to work, he knows how to click. He knows how to flip the switch and get ready to go to work. So I think that's a unique thing about him.
Son, you've talked to us a few times, I think even going back to the spring, but just how ready are you for this bigger role this year and to be able to contribute on this line?
So I think I'm ready. I know I'm ready for it. Just like other guys in the room, like Nazir, Tyrion, guys like that. So I think it's just a big challenge for us. We're still preparing, getting ready, but I think we're all ready for it.
I know something with Jordan a lot was the battle to keep his weight in check, whatever, with the Bones facility and the specific plans for gaining or maintaining whatever. How much has that helped you guys on the defensive line trying to keep in shape through the summer and fall camp?
It's been a big help with everything being so close now. Like we don't have any choice but to eat and get hydration. So it's definitely been a big thing throughout fall camp, throughout the summer.
I know you're obviously a big part of the defense last year, but how much does this defense as a unit get tired of hearing about last year's generational defense and not maybe giving you guys enough credit for what you hopefully you all be able to do?
It gets old, but it's a compliment. But you also kind of want to step in and create your own legacy, create your own in a sense. So I kind of look at it two ways. Kind of just put it to the past with like we got to do what we got to do this year.
How frequent has that conversation been though with you guys?
I'll say for myself, it comes up a lot, just from like family members to just like anybody. So I think it definitely comes up a lot though.
You guys are always emphasizing the importance of practice and how like that's when you guys get your most valuable reps in and stuff like that. But come game day, when you're lined up against someone you're not eating like that wasn't your roommate, that's not the guy like you're eating dinner lunch with. That's like it's an actual different opponent. Do you think like something's gonna come out of you, like you're gonna turn on another gear or anything like that?
I'll say like our defensive line coach, practice execution equals game reality. So whatever you do in practice is most likely going to come up in a game. So you take every practice rep serious to where in the game it's just like second nature. So you're just out there reacting. So I think the way we practice here, the way we prepare, it definitely gets us ready for games.
You mentioned creating your own legacy. I'm curious. I know that obviously the defensive line had 3 first-round picks. How many snaps were you getting typically in a game, and as far as what you were doing to contribute to the championship?
Last year?
Yeah.
I think I averaged probably around 15 to 22 snaps a game. So that number will definitely jump from this year. So I took pride in that in myself this summer, like pushing myself to run, pushing myself to do little extra things. So I think my body's ready for it physically, but I just got to keep preparing mentally for it.
Just wondering, the narrative in this game is that Oregon up front, particularly on the offensive line, and they've said that's where they feel like that team strength is there of offensive line? You've looked at them and studied them at this point more than any of us here. Can you validate that? What's your thoughts on the line that you'll be facing?
Oh yeah, they're a very veteran group. We know that that's like the heart of their team. So we know we have to neutralize them and make them a one-dimensional. So we'll just have to figure that out Saturday.
How much do you kind of embrace knowing that that's going to be a big part of that game, knowing that you and your teammates on the defensive line are going to have a big role?
Which that's what we pride ourselves in. We pride ourselves in stopping the run so we can have fun on third and second down. So we just got to neutralize our offense so we can have some fun.
So you were from Lebanon there in that Middle Tennessee area. That's obviously growing, more and more talent. A lot of guys coming out of there. Did you also play offense in high school? And where would you, if you played offense, where would you like to play, and where do you think you would actually play?
So growing up, I always wanted to play quarterback. I loved it. Actually, I played quarterback my freshman year, a little bit my sophomore year, but then I moved on to tight end and receiver a little bit. So if I could pick one now, I probably definitely would want to play tight end.
You did talk about creating your own legacy, and I agree with that because you try and chase last year's senior, chasing ghosts. So what have you and this year and all those guys been talking about to create your own legacy in the offseason? What have you guys been telling each other to block?
Just putting one foot in front of the other each day. Just working. Just knowing what we got to do. Knowing the standard of our DLine room. We know what we have to do, and we know what we want to do. So we just got to go out there and work at it every day.
Do you have anyone you like to listen to pregame to get you in the right mindset or the mindset you want to be in going into a game music-wise? I know Stetson told us he's Colby Calais and Notorious B.I.G.
I'm a little bit of a mixture. Like I like to listen. Like on the way to the stadium, I'll probably listen to like some like upbeat type things, like rap music. Walking around the field, I'll probably play like some slowed down music just to get me back like level and calm. But then right before I put the pads on, I'll probably put back on some rap, get myself going again.
Any artists in particular you enjoy?
Probably Lil Baby, Lil Durk. Just really anything that's like big right now, that's what I'm listening to.
What have you seen from Bear Alexander as he's gone through the fall and getting ready for his freshman year?
He's very twitchy. When he learns our system, he'll be a very good guy for our defense.
Can you speak to kind of how you have increased as a leader for this team this year?
Just trying to lead by my actions, not really lead by my words, because we have guys that lead by words. So I try to be the different leader of my actions and the things that I do, not what I say. So and I feel like guys have followed me in that role. So and I feel like that has changed over since spring.
Kirby said your leadership style is kind of a product of the environment that you've learned from the guys that came before you. You know, what is it that you're trying to emulate from Jordan and Devontae and those other guys that came before you?
Just hard-nosed workers. Like Devontae, that was a man-made guy. Like everything that you've seen Devontae Wyatt do, he worked his tail off to get that. So and that's one of the guys I look up to the most, just because he was the guy that brought me under his wing when I first got here, and like we have a special bond. So I'll probably say Devontae.
Earlier you spoke about the standard of your D-line. So does that include like a special type of toughness, or what does that include as a whole for the standard of your D-line?
We just hold ourselves to a different standard. Like you might see guys out of practice have long t-shirts hanging out. Our coach kind of wants us tucked in, like no lower than a belt line, little things like that. Just going with a workman's attitude every day toward our craft.
How different is Q right now compared to this time last year?
He's definitely trying to be more of a vocal leader. I can say that for sure. He has every intangible you need to be a top 5 corner, which he is. So I feel like he just has to listen to his coaching and apply his coaching to the game, and he'll be fine.
What are you most looking forward to about Saturday and just getting another season started?
Just going out and compete with my guys, man. Hitting somebody else other than my teammates, really. It's just, when you go a whole month just hitting the same guys over and over, it just gets repetitive, it gets redundant. So it's just ready to hit another color, ready to see some different face.
Having done that against the Georgia offensive line, what are your thoughts on this year's group, what they're bringing to the table?
Man, they ready to maul. They're ready to move some stuff.
Son, you talk about tired of hitting somebody. Are you the most tired of hitting?
Man.
Anybody in particular?
Shoot, I'd probably say Big Devin Willett. He's a man. He's that's 335 pounds of full man right there. So when he's coming down on that double team, it's a lot to handle right there.
Time for 2 more questions.
How much have you kept up with some of those guys that went off to the NFL? And, have they shared any advice with you, now that they're not here and they're watching from afar?
Like Devontae, I keep in touch with Devontae. I at least try to reach out to him at least once a week, just to like pick his brain to see how he's doing. Trayvon, I talked to him recently last week, and I'm just happy to see those guys doing what they love to do at the next level. So it just gives you something to look forward to, gives you something to work for.
Can you speak to kind of any adversity that this 2022 Georgia team has faced and kind of describe?
Can you say that one more time?
The adversity that this team has faced this year.
I think,
If any.
I don't even know if I can answer that question. Like, we just gotta go work. Not guys just want to talk about it. Just guys going to want to show the actions of doing what they say they're gonna do.
Okay, thank you, son.
Thanks, so.